There we go. All right. Hello, hello, everybody. Get everything all set up. Is everybody enjoying their nice Tuesday evening? Hoping that works. Stay. Hi, Donna. All right, we're gonna have some fun tonight. So I'm gonna give everybody a couple of minutes to hop on. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Carmen. Okay, whoa, now all the highs are coming in. So we got Shelly, Debbie, Jan, welcome, welcome. And Margaret. Oh, so this month, I know Sherry had mentioned it. I'm just gonna kind of go over it again, just a quick little product, you know, plug here. So we've got the Wow Trios, the Nifty 50. So you get these beautiful 3 embossing powders with it. So you have the Metallic Gold Sparkle, the Aquamarine, and the Midori Splice. So today I'm going to show you double-sided tape with embossing powders. We've got tape. So like I use the Suquang or Be Creative tape. So this is an idea that you can use with this, which is awesome. And especially if you, say for example, you don't have an embossing or a watermark stamp pad, this is a great alternative. What I also love about the double-sided tape, you can get this, sorry, I just burping, the Couture Creations, the really big roll. And that's how I did this and this awesome Get Well. And I think it turned out really good. I was very impressed with it last night while I was doing it. All right, so we've got quite a few people on here already, which is awesome. So I'm gonna kind of walk you through how I did each of these different techniques. So I will be using my Sizzix and my heat gun. I'm gonna try and do it somewhat far away from the microphone so you guys don't get, I guess, the sound. So what I'm going to do is and talk about how I did these two first, because this one is self-explanatory, I guess. So what I did with these is I used a heavier weighted cardstock, so whether it be 110, 120 pound. I know Gina K has a heavier cardstock that you guys can use. Honestly, I just used a bit of watercolor paper that I had lying around on my desk here, rather to go to waste. And what I did is I just took some of the big roll, call it Big Mama, and then I basically put it on, and then I cut the sheet down just slightly, and I actually got 2 pieces out of it, which is great. Now you can also, sorry guys, the dog's gonna bark for a second. Okay, sorry, actually it wasn't too bad. You can do it on both sides if you're careful, but if you're going to do that, I would suggest not using such a heavier cardstock. I would use just a regular cardstock because it is harder to get through the machine. Did I keep the one I had? Okay. I'm going to show you. So this one here that I did on the black is I did do it on double-sided. I found it a little harder because it was such an intricate die. I mean, I think I ran it about 6 times through the machine, and you'll see it didn't cut through the back of the paper. So, I mean, if you're fine with that, by all means, you know, you can extra shim it and stuff like that to get that. I'm changed my approach and I'm just doing the one side with the heavier cardstock. But again, personal preference, try it, see what you like. So what I've done is I've made my two pieces here, and these dies are both from Lawn Fawn. Now, if you guys have any questions, throw it in the comments because I am watching. So this one is from Lawn Fawn, from their newest, actually they're both their newest release, I believe. Sorry, I had some ginger ale and it keeps, anyways, get well soon, because I thought, well, you know, in this sort of day and age, it might be cool to have something like this, especially with the tricolors. I thought it was really cool. And this is actually for the Magic Iris. It's the floral wreath add-on. So I don't always necessarily use them in the Magic Iris. You know, you could put someone's picture underneath. You could put your stamp your sentiment in here, which I thought was kind of fun. But I thought it was really cool with the idea of like the tritone. This is me just testing it, so I think what I'm gonna do this time is I'm gonna do different sections in different colors, so it's sort of like an ombre effect, similar to how I did the, where is it? This one here, which is kind of cool. So I'll do sort of like pieces, and I'll show you how I'll do that. So I'm gonna run through them. I think I should be able to get 2 of each. So let me just run that through the machine. So basically, I'm just going to, oh, maybe I can only get 1 of each. Maybe I can get both. All right, let me just run this through the machine. Give me 2 seconds, you guys. And I'm just going to put this through. So I cut down into my plate. I know everyone's quite different with how they do it. So I want the sticky side up. So I'm gonna put my plates pointing down, and I cut into that, and then I put my extra plate on the top and make sure I'm within my boundaries here. Crackety crack. I'm going through the machine. Muscles, people, muscles. There we go. All right, so actually, I might have to do that a second time. 1 second. Just the top one's a little. And then I'm just gonna grab the shim and do it a bit more with the shim. There we go. All right, I think that's got it now. Oh wow, I'm totally shaking. Sorry guys. Oh, I don't typically have that machine on this table. All right, so I think we got pretty good. Okay, so we're just gonna pop it out. And I'll tell you another benefit of using a little thicker cardstock for this. It's just gonna hold its shape a little bit better for you when you're actually heating. Ooh, come on. All right, when you actually go to heat it, it's gonna hold its shape. All right, so we're just gonna poke out all that crap. All right, so that is what we are left with. So the back is not sticky, but the front will be. All right, I'm just going to, now this I have to be a little more careful because it is a very detailed, albeit gorgeous, die. Come on, there we go, all right. Once it's actually out of the die, it's a little bit easier. All right. Not that you guys can see it, but my sister is trying to be super sneaky in the cupboards and trying to be really quiet, and I'm just staring at her and laughing. She's doing it pretty well though. All right, so I'm just gonna take another second to pop this out. I have my tweezers here somewhere. Sometimes it's easier to use tweezers to separate. Poke out pieces in the center. I did this last night. I had pieces sticking to every finger. It was so bad and yet funny. It was a butt to try and peel them all off though, off my hand. Okay, so now we just have little insides to pop out. Now what's also really cool is you can do a bunch of these all at once and then have them all ready to do the embossing, which is quite neat. That's when we get to the fun stuff, once we unpop all these pieces here. Wendy, this die specifically is the add-on for the Magic Iris. This is one of the new Lawn Fawns for their summer release. And I mentioned earlier that even though it's a Magic Iris, I don't necessarily use it as a Magic Iris. I can use it to like frame a sentiment or an image or a picture too, which is really cool. So I don't always necessarily use it for what they say it is. I mean, you can definitely use it with the Magic Iris, obviously. But I like mixing it up and using it for other things too. Oh, there's another one. All right. I think I got, see, there's a sticky. All right, I think I got it all. Perfect. So the back of this again is going to not be sticky. It's the front that is. So I'm just gonna throw that over there. Oh, I got pieces everywhere. I'm such a mess today. All right, so we've got two things. So we've got the Get Well and the Magic Iris, the floral wreath add-on, and we're going to do those up. And then we're also going to, I'm just going to move that out of the way too, and do it on a regular piece of cardstock. So let's do the regular piece of cardstock first, because this one is a little more self-explanatory. So I have pre-cut a card front, and then I've got, I picked 3 sizes that I liked. So I think I've got what half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, half an inch, 3/8, and then a 1/4 of an inch, I think. Sorry, I was just measuring it with little grids. So I picked 3 sizes I preferred. Now the benefit with doing this is you can kind of place these wherever you want to make your card front. So you can do it on the corners like I did here. You can do stripes along the bottom. You can do it in various sizes from large to small, alternate colors, whatever you prefer. I cut a couple of bases, so I'm going to do 2 of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my biggest one, and I'm going to rip sort of a, actually maybe I'll just use this. So I have actually previously cut from this card. So basically I just trimmed the edge off. And then what I can do is place it where I want it on my card. And then right across. Now I'm all about saving tape. So I just trim it off, stick it back down, and we are good to go. Then I just pick my next biggest size, and I'm going to place it. I have to do that one a little differently. Oh, maybe not. I'll place it where I want it here. Ooh. It's also super sticky, so be careful when you put it down that it's where you want it. Okay, and again, I just flip it over, trim off the excess so I can do a bunch of these. Grab my next one. Now I did see a little flyaway here. There you are. Peel it off. There we go. And then my last one. So this one's gonna be a little different because, actually, you know what? Let's put her here. So we've got 3 different sizes. Now I didn't do it in various or in decreasing or increasing sizes. I kind of played with them and I went, you know, smallest, largest to the medium again. Alright, so that is the first one. Now, the way I did it, okay, is I picked a size that I wanted to do a specific color, peeled it off, did that one, and then continued on through the 3 different colors. What I'm also going to do at the same time, just because it's a little easier, is I'm going to do this one really quickly. And I'm going to do this one on this side here. So I'm going to do it straight. Measure it too. I use this a lot, this grid here. Help me with where I'm putting. Helps me put it in the correct position. Alright, so there is thick. Then let's do thin. And then I'm going to trim off the excess, or the excess, not access. All right, welcome, welcome to those who are jumping in now. So I'm just showing you an embossing technique using double-sided tape, especially for those of you that do not have embossing ink or anything that you would normally use. So this is sort of an out-of-box technique, but one that actually works really well. So now I'm just trimming the excess of my sticky off. Okay. Okay, so I have 2 different ones right now. So I have one sort of diagonal, and I have one just across here. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do the biggest one with the Midori splice on both. So I'm just going to peel off the tape. Yay, yay, Roslyn. I see you got it. It's awesome. I love it. The colors are amazing. So I'm going to do the biggest one with the Midori splice, which is actually, to be honest, my favorite. I'm usually more of a teal girl, but I kind of fell in love with this green. And then all I'm going to do is the other 2 pieces of tape are on there. And I'm just going to, now underneath here I have parchment paper. So be honest, right there I freaked out for a second when I, because it was sticking to the tape. Okay, so now we've got it on there. And then I'm going to do the same one here. Okay. Knock off the excess, 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 excess. There we go. So first one done. I'm just going to put them out of the way while I do this. And this is just an easy way to put your that back in. And where can you go? You can't go wrong with parchment paper. Go-to, no sticking. All right, now I think I want to do the smallest one with the, no, I'm going to do the medium one with the teal. Okay, so I'm going to peel off medium on both. literally just gonna do the same thing, guys, which is quite awesome. Except there was a little floof there. Yeah. Peel that off. That. This one. Okay. And then I'm gonna peel my Aquamarine. Since I have some on here. And there we go. And then the last one, which is the gold. Okay. Okay, and same thing, just dump her on and knock off the excess. Okay. And then all you do is you heat set it. And again, for any of you guys who have heat set, you guys know what it looks like when it starts to melt. I'm not gonna go too crazy here because it's harder to see on video and it's gonna be loud. So if you have volume up, please turn it down just for a few seconds while I heat these. No, just in time for the reveal. Yep. Okay, and then there we go. So I know that was a little bit, oh yes, so that, yes, Rosalind was just saying the underwater dye from Dare to be Artsy. Yeah, so these three colors would be really cool for that, for like an underwater scene. So basically what I've done is I've heat set the embossing powder on the tape, and you'll notice a difference. Oh, there's one section that didn't get heated. When you do it, you will notice right away so this place here, it didn't heat set properly. So I just reheated it, which is not a problem because what's great about the double-sided tape is that it stays. So I haven't had any problems with peeling or anything like that. And once it's down there, it's pretty much good. But once you start to heat set it on the double-sided tape, you'll definitely know right away when it's melted and when it's not. You can sort of put this on anywhere on your card, which is kind of cool, and it gives a little accent, especially if you're doing more of a masculine card or a much more simpler card, but it gives you a little bit of spice or sparkle to it, which is quite nice. So this is one way to use the embossing powders with the double-sided tape, and I'm going to show you the other way. So for example, with this Get Well Soon, I peel it off. So the back is not sticky, remember. And I use the Couture Creations, the really large sticky, on this thicker paper. And basically all I do is I peel it off so that the whole thing is sticky, and I'm going to do it sort of in an ombre effect. If I can get this off. And try not to touch the sticky as much as possible. I do have a pair of tweezers for this part, which I will show you how I use them. And it's basically to hold things in place while I'm peeling and stuff like that. Okay. So what I want to do is sort of pick my colors. So I think I'm going to do it the opposite way. I'm going to start with the gold on top. And I'm just going to be very careful with where I put it. You can also hold it up when you're doing it. Especially if you don't want to get all of the areas. Okay. And I'm just going to tap it off. Just going to move it over to my side here. Put the gold back in. Now I'm going to do both this and the frame, and then I'll heat set both. Just makes it a little easier. Okay, so there's the gold. And then I'm going to do the Midori splice. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to dump some on the sticky. And if you get like very similar colors, this would be really cool, like if you did like gray or black to gray to white sort of a deal, that would look really cool. So that's what we've got so far. And then we're gonna get the Aquamarine once I put this back in the container. Okay. Always put your caps back on, guys. That's the easiest way to lose the product or spill it, and you don't want to do that. I'm just going to pop this off my tweezers because I'm going to do the whole bottom piece with the Aquamarine. So I'm just going to goob it on there. Okay. There, and then I'm going to put this back in here. Okay, now we're going to do the frame. So the Get Well Soon is all ready to go, it just needs to be heat set. We're going to do the frame, but I want to play with doing different sections, different colors. So this is going to take a very careful hand to peel this. Worked out well last time for me, so hopefully we'll do the same thing. There we go. Okay, and with this I'm going to be very, very careful where I am touching, because on the other one I did get a little place that was less sticky, so you don't want that. So I've got my two fingers in the middle here holding it. And I'm going to try and use my tweezers as much as possible. Okay. Now, I'm going to put it down. And I'm going to pick a couple of places to do the teal. So maybe here, a little there. A little bit more here. Okay. Then I'm going to knock it off. Okay. Put the Aquamarine back in. Again, lid, guys. Lids, lids, lids. Okay, now we're going to pick her up. I'm going to pick a couple places to do the green. I'm going to sort of overlap this here. The place right there wasn't touched. I'm going to do some green there. this one's gonna look fun when it's done. Okay, I'm gonna knock that off. Trying to maintain the shape as much as possible. And then I'm just gonna cover the whole rest of it in gold. It's gonna be fun once we heat set that. The gold should catch on anywhere we don't have any sticky. Already got. So, just go for it. All right, now knock that off. Look at how pretty that is. Okay, so now we're gonna put the gold back in, and then we're gonna heat set them. I have a lot of fun with some of these words from Lawn Fawn. They are so much fun. I know I inked a bee my Valentine, so I think this would be really cool with some of the pinks. But definitely the underwater scene would be really cool. Okay, so we are going to heat set this now. Here we go. All right. Okay, so again, if you got your volume up, I would turn it down just a little while I heat set this because it is loud. At least to my ears it is. So I'm going to sort of hold it down while I'm heat setting it just for a few minutes. Ooh, I'm so happy with how those turned out. They look so cool. Okay, so this is the Get Well, and I did two different versions. So this was my sort of tester one, and then this was the second one that I did. Just to show you how easy it is. So basically it's just using the double-sided tape, the bigger one, and I put it on some heavier cardstock, and then I just heat set it. Now you could also do like gold, blue, gold. There's like so many different ways you can use this. It's awesome. And then I did the same idea. So like I did sort of 1, 2, 3. And then this one I sort of played it up. You'll see how it is much different. Now obviously because I don't have it double-sided down already, it's kind of sticking up a little bit, but if you definitely let that cool, sort of put it through like a book on top of it, it should flatten out no problem. But I like how it sort of, it picked up pieces, like so for example on this flower here you've got some little blue shining through, but most of it is gold. You got some gold on the edge of this flower here where it's blue and green. It's really neat. Yeah, and then so you can use this as your card front, you can use it as a frame for a photo. There's so many different uses to it. So that's using the Be Creative, the really big tape, and believe me guys, it lasts forever as long as you're careful with it. I save the pieces that I don't use sort of on the side here. You'll notice I've got some pieces tucked here, and that's just to save it. But yeah, I've had it for quite some time and I haven't even like hit it. You have different thicknesses of the regular tape. Now I use the Be Creative Suquang tape. I find it super sticky, which is great because you don't want any lifting. I haven't had any problems with it, knock on wood. But this is another great way to add a little flair to your projects. Again, it's a really neat way to use the embossing powders. And again, I know a little plug again, we have, these are the Wow Trios. It is for Sherry's birthday month, which is this month. It's the Nifty 50 Trio, and it comes with 3 different colors. You've got the metallic gold, you've got the aquamarine, and the Midori splice. And that's what I used on these. So I hope you guys had fun, and I hope you guys learned something. Another way to use your dies in a very different, fun way. Okay. That is it for me. I hope you guys had fun. Definitely tag me in any questions you guys have. If you guys tried this on your own, definitely tag me. I'd love to see it. I know the store would. I know Sherry would. I plan on using these on cards, obviously, because I've got one started here. But definitely, it's really pretty on black cardstock. So I'm going to use a bit of that, and then I'm going to go have some fun. So I hope you guys had fun. And again, I hope you guys did learn something. And I will see you guys next month. Bye, guys.